So you want to learn how to build a PC from ground up? So then this video is just what you need. Stay tuned. Hey guys, this is the Son and thank you for coming back to yet another video where I'm going to show you guys the best gadget, the best technology to make your life just a little bit easier. And in today's video, we're going to build a PC from ground up. So let's get this started. Now before I start, I gotta add something to my body, and that is the anti-static wrist strap. I bought it from Amazon. It is actually it's a nice one. It's commonly used and I think it does the job. So you don't have to go fancy about this, and they're not that expensive. So without further ado, we'll take it out and we'll see what's inside. We get our wrist strap and we will have it attached to our arm, and that should get rid of any static discharge. So now that that's out of the way, the next step that we need tools. And in order to get the right tools, all you need is a Phillips screwdriver. But if you want to be extra careful in case something happens, have the right equipment, this is the toolbox that I recommend. Now again, I'm gonna link everything that I'm showing you guys down below so you guys can check them out. But this is a nice tool set. This is how it comes. It has a latch on the side that when you open it, this is the make and model of it, and as soon as you open it, you are greeted with a set of complete tools, everything that you need to build your PC and anything that you might need in the future. So part one of this build is picking up the right case. Now a case is mostly just a showpiece. You could choose the cheapest case, or you could go all expensive, get modular case. I wanted to pick something so you could see inside, and this is why I chose this case. This is an amazing case made by Coarser, so you know it's good quality, you know it's actually functional. And this is the Air 240. This is a smaller version of their bigger case, and the good thing about this is that you could put this sideways and you could flat it down any way you like. So what you get inside of the box is the case itself, and you get a little bit of user manual. You get the warranty card, and then if you want to tear it apart, it gives you complete instruction on how you could completely tear this case apart. Here is the case. This is not a big case. This is nice. This is small, compact. The good thing is that it has this acrylic panel. Although it is very nice, but it is very easily gets scratched since it's acrylic. So be extra cautious when handling it, and do not tear up the skin until you're finished building your case. On the back we have dual chamber, one for your main equipment and one for your cable management and for your power. And on the side we have an air vent. So this is awesome. We shall put this aside. We have a couple of screws on the back in order to open this case and get fully access inside of the case. And by the way, this case opens up really easy, and another good thing is that the screws, you don't have to take them out completely, so you could have them attached here so they don't get lost, broken, or damaged. Put that aside somewhere safe so it doesn't get scratched, and we come back to the other side and try to open this. Next, we're gonna remove these extra fans because we don't need it. We got our own fan. These fans are horrible. Although the case is made very premium, but not fond of the fans that are stock included. This is the look at the front panel. So we'll take the extra fans off of here as well. Inside of our storage container, we have a couple of equipment. Now in this bag, we have a couple of extra screws. We have a couple of zip ties, long screws, everything that you might need in case of your build. But you may need more items, so be aware that depending on your setup, you might need to buy extra equipment. That's it. our case is officially been stripped and ready to modify. Now the first thing that you need to look at is your motherboard. Now depending on your system, you could choose different type of motherboard, but I wanted something compact, I wanted something small that has a lot of functionality and can provide me everything that I need in a single base unit. Now this motherboard is an Asus motherboard, and this is the Rockstrike Z370i gaming motherboard. Now the good thing about this motherboard is that it has included everything that you might need. It has a USB 3 Gen 1, 4 of them, a USB 2, 4 connectors, it has a DP connector, it has an HDMI connector, it has an Intel Ethernet port connector, it has a Wi-Fi module, Supreme FX 8-channel audio, and SPDIF out. So everything you need inside of this motherboard. And also when you buy your motherboard, make sure that your motherboard supports your CPU. We shall open this up and see what we get inside. Take it out. It is so small yet heavy. It has quite a weight to it. I like that. Good handle of our accessories inside. Now, one of the important thing about this motherboard is that it comes, every motherboard comes with a user manual. Now this is the key to success. If you want to succeed and if you do not want to fail, make sure you go through your user manual, know everything that is included inside your motherboard packaging, and learn different ports on your motherboard. One of the greatest things that they have in this motherboard is that they name everything for you. So once you want to put them together, this is just like a Lego, and you could easily connect everything to it. You could learn everything about your BIOS setting, and it just makes life so much easier for you. This for me is the most important page of this motherboard user manual, because it tells me where to connect my power, where to connect my LED, where to connect the reset button, and everything. So having these is a key and a must, so we'll put that aside. Next thing is the CD, and this is the driver manual / everything you need to install this motherboard. But my suggestion, toss it to the trash. That's old update. If you wanna install the software for your motherboard, which I highly recommend you do, is to go to the website, find the actual product, and download the latest software update or the software for your motherboard. Next is our back plate included inside. We shall open this, take it out, and it actually looks quite pleasing. Look at this. This looks really nice. I like it. Next, we have a couple of connectors. I don't want to take them out yet, because all this connector, and this is my suggestion to you, all this connector has a part name. So the best way to take these out is as you go on your belt. One thing that you could take out right now is these little zip ties. These zip ties will be your friend. Next we have our CPU installation tools. There you go. The next item that comes with this motherboard, as I indicated before, this motherboard is Wi-Fi ready, so you don't have to connect a external Wi-Fi USB device to your computer. This is basically the Wi-Fi, and we shall install it at the end. We put that aside. If you want to use cable mod, whoever used it first, this is the coupon code for the cable mod. There you go. Just use it and enjoy it. Next we have again a couple of our connections, screws, plates, and other ports. And on top of that we have stickers. And the most important item inside of this package is the motherboard itself. And look at this beauty. This thing looks absolutely stunning. This is gorgeous. See, we have all our input in the side. We have room for our storage. This is the CPU, this is the cooling system, and this is the back of it. This motherboard looks and feels amazing. Now, in order to set up your motherboard, I suggest go inside your trash, get the motherboard case out, put it down, and place your motherboard on top of it. All right, next is the heart of our build, and this is the CPU. For my build, I chose the i7 Unlock CPU by Intel. This is the best that you can get right now, although you could get the i9, but the price for it is ridiculous. It was like $1,000. So I decided to go with this. I'm happy with it, and we shall unbox it. Make sure when you get your CPU that this is not opened. So you're the first person that is opening it. So we shall open our case and take the CPU out. Now, for our CPU, we get the user manual, and of course, with every build, every CPU, you get the sticker, those nice stickers. I know you guys like him. This sticker is awesome. We get that sticker, and we get an empty box. But no, it's not empty. What it is, it's on the top. This is our CPU. Now handle this with care. We get our CPU and gently place it inside. Gently. Just move it a little bit. Make sure that it's in place. Get your cover. Put it down. Just like that. Bring the hinge down. And this should pop out. So if this popped out, don't freak out. This is what it's supposed to do. So we have our CPU installed. Now for this build, I decided to use Corsair 32 gigabyte DDR4 RAM at 3200 megahertz. And this is gonna give me that speed that I've been looking for. So we open the package, and that's it. This is gonna give me all the speed that I want. This is awesome. This looks amazing. So we take the little plastic off, and voila, look at this beauty. This looks awesome. Make sure to not touch the pins on the bottom, and then kind of adjust it, align it, realize where your pins are, and slowly place it in. Do you hear that click? That means it's in. Next, we're gonna move to our other RAM. We are ready. Our RAM and our CPU is now installed. Look at this bad boy. This thing looks amazing already. Now for my build, I want fast data transfer. I don't want to deal with traditional SSD nor just storage drives. I want to use M.2 drives. These are fantastically fast. They give you that amazing data transfer speed that you want. This is a Samsung 960 Pro M2 storage drive. This is the 512 gigabyte, and this is gonna give me plenty of storage, and this is gonna be my main storage on this build. And if I want more storage later on, I can just add on to it. So as far as right now, this would do justice. This is all I need. Again, this machine is just for gaming and editing video. It's not for mass storage. So we'll take our storage out, and look how small this is. This is tiny. This is so tiny. Now there is two spots to place our M.2 SSD. One in the back of this motherboard right here, and one in the front. And I recommend using the front one because it has a cooling plate on top of it that can keep your SSD cool and running flawlessly. So the first thing is to rip off that plastic taping on top of it, and make sure you take off these plastics on top of your case, because you don't want to go to your build and then realize, oh my god, your build is having a problem because the plastic has melted down. Put the screws to the side, and this is the cover that you get, and on the back of it there is an adhesive that you need to rip off before putting it back. So we put that aside, and this is exactly how it looks. Take our storage drive and simply, gently placing it in and screw it down. There you go. This is the final step that we need to do prior to placing this beautiful piece back on our case. Before placing our motherboard inside of our case, we're gonna take this back plating and simply put it in place. We shall place it inside of our case. So we have our first step of our installation done and ready. This already looks great. All right, so moving along, the next item that we're gonna take a look at is our power supply. This is the 850 power supply, and I know you guys gonna say this is an overkill, but here's one thing. Because I don't want it to be loud and because I don't want it to run at max, I decided to go as big as I could. Another reason that I went with this product was not only the wattage that it presents, but it's because of its modularity. So that way I'm not gonna have a bunch of cables that I'm not gonna use just in my case. And this is it. Look at this packaging. The packaging looks awesome. First and foremost, we got our user manual. This is important. We're gonna put this aside. Next, we have a little case, so you could put it inside of a case, I believe. We have a couple of Velcro straps to strap it down. Next, we have our cables. And the good thing about these cables is that they're actually nice. They're not bad. They're not horrible. So this is a good thing. And finally, we have our showpiece, the EVGA power supply. Nicely packaged. I like this. All right, so this is our power supply. Look at that. This looks really nice. I love it. I like the texture of it, and the back of it is really cool. The fact that you could see all of those interiors, it's awesome. And a big plus is that it's modular. So let's install it. Now, one thing about our case is that it comes with a ventilation side for the back of it, and the ventilation is magnetic, so it's easy to remove. And if you want to install it, you put it in. The vent is on the bottom. So since our power supply has a ventilation and it's in this side rather than this side, we wanted to put this on the bottom so it can take air in. So nice and easy, we shall place this right up in here. Very cool, easy installation. This was probably the most easiest part of this setup. So another item that I got for this build is this tiny little fan. Now this is by all means not necessarily, but it's gonna give me a little extra flow inside of this case. Okay, so the next item that I purchased for this case is LED light. And this is the Hue Plus Advanced PC lighting. This is a great option to add to your case to just give it that extra boost, you know. You can never have enough LEDs. So we shall open this. It is small, so you could easily hide it, and if you want to show it off, it does not look half bad. This thing is actually awesome. And by the way, inside of here there is an LED, so LED all over. Right underneath the modular itself we have our LEDs, and this is our LEDs, just like your Q LEDs, strips of LEDs. We have all the extra cables that we need right here. These are the Corsair RGB LED fans, and the good thing about them is that they have RGB all over the place. They have LEDs inside, they have LEDs around them. They just look so cool. I needed 4, so I got a set of 3 and a set of 1. This way we accommodate 2 for airflow and 2 for my heatsink. Okay, so after 2 days I received my proper cooling system. So let's unbox it and let's see what we get. We have the cables, pretty standard, backplate, AMD backplate, and etc. We have the actual cooling system. Let's take it out of the box, get it out of the cover, and bring it right in here. And there you go. This is how it's supposed to feel when you place it in. So let's screw it in and let's see what we have. So I'm gonna take out the screws. This is it. I believe that we have it all correctly positioned and spotted. We shall get our fans that we purchased, and take them out. Again, these are the Corsair fans that I have. It's gonna look much nicer than the actual fan. For this build, I have the Gigabyte GeForce GTX 1070, and this one is overclockable, so that's always good. This is it. We'll take it out and we shall see what we got. This is the beauty. Admire it. When you take your graphic cards out, it's time to admire it. This looks dope. This looks awesome. Oh, almost forgot about it. The Star Wars edition. We'll take it out. Take our Star Wars. Check this out. There you go. And now we have power. Oh, everything is working as intended. So our computer is completely built and we're ready to turn it on. But before I turn this beauty on, let me go over some pro tips for you that I wish I knew before starting to build this PC. Actually, I knew before starting to build this PC, but this is for you out there so you know what you're doing. First and foremost important component of building any PC is to understand why you're building this PC. Are you building it to game, or are you building it to edit, or is it just something to do your schoolwork and regular usage? Depending on your build and your need, that's where you can shape your computer around it. If you're a gaming fan, you don't have to put all your money into a really extreme processor. I mean, of course it makes the difference, but if you're gaming, you need to focus on your graphic card. Versus if you're an editor, the graphic card, yes, it matters, but it mainly matters what type of processor and how much RAM your computer has. So knowing the component, knowing the compatibility based on your purchase will make a tremendous difference on your build. Another really good important information is that when you're building your PC, test everything before you put it inside your computer case. Before you screw down everything, make sure you test it, make sure it works and is compatible with your system. That way you save a lot of time and a lot of hassle. Now when you're ready to place your beautiful CPU inside of your computer and have your cooler attached to it, make sure do not put a lot of thermal paste on it, as excessive thermal paste can shorten the lifespan of your CPU. So I've seen a lot of people, they use spatula or they just pour so much thermal paste in their CPU thinking that it will give them better result. No, you need to just apply a tap of thermal paste on it. Now if you want to know better and if you want to sure, make sure to check with your manufacturer and see what your product recommendation is, so that way you're 100% in clear. Now when you're building your computer, there's two things that I recommend. First of all, have a screwdriver. That's a must. You need to have a screwdriver. Now if you want to step your game up one level and make sure to get the best result, make sure your screwdriver is magnetic. And if it's not magnetic, you could just attach a magnet to the top of your screwdriver and transform your screwdriver to a magnetic screwdriver. This way you don't have to hold all those screws and just work really hard with it. Next thing that I recommend is to have a flashlight handy in case something dropped inside of your case and it's really hard for you to get it out. If you have a flashlight, it's gonna be as easy as 1, 2, 3 to locate your item that you lost inside of your package and dig them out. So have a flashlight. And if you don't have the flashlight, 99% of the time your phone is equipped with a flashlight on board. Have your phone handy. Search, 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 search. So before building this PC, every time you buy a component, make sure you go to YouTube, get that name, drop it inside of a search link and search that product, so you know when you receive your product what it's supposed to have, what is not gonna have, and you know everything about it, so you won't be surprised. Especially if you buy used equipment, it is highly I'm emphasizing on the highly part. So there is a point in here. Make sure to read about that equipment, so when you get it, if there is something wrong, if there is something abnormal, you can detect it right at the beginning, save money and get the best the first time you purchase it. Now I know some of the stuff like graphic card, you can get the best if you're trying to be on budget, because between a 1070 and a 1080 it's about $500 gap depending on what brand you go to. But stuff like your power supply, stuff like your motherboard are not that much of a difference between a lower or average power supply than a higher power supply. So get the best. Make sure your motherboard is compatible with your need and your build. If you're trying to build an Intel PC, you need to have the right motherboard versus an AMD PC. They have completely different setup and different build. If you're using an 8th generation Intel processor, you need to have a motherboard that is compatible with the 8th generation processors. Some have pins, some are flat. So make sure to research your motherboard, go to the manufacturer's website and see the compatibilities list and find out if your product is compatible. Cable management is the key to build any successful PC, and if you want your PC to be successful, make sure to do your cable management right, because if you don't do it right and if you have to do something or if you have to change something, it will be a hassle for you. So spend a little time on your cable management, so then in future if something had to happen, you're free of any problem. And as we can see right now, I'm ready to turn the power supply on. Actually, the power supply is already connected. I'm ready to turn it on. So let's turn this bad boy on. Are we on? Oh, we are on. This is awesome. This thing is truly a monster and it looks absolutely fantastic. I am extremely happy with this build. So let me go through everything that I did. First of all, I have a fan up here that draws air inside. I have a fan in the bottom right in here that brings air up, and I have my CPU cooling system right here that again draws air inside, and right back here I have two fans that takes air out, and we have LED lighting all across this computer. This build is truly awesome. This is gonna be a showpiece in my desk. And that's it. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay happy, stay classy, and stay beautiful, and I check you guys on the next one.